What if I told you that among the 12 sons of Jacob, whose names became the tribes of Israel, there was one daughter whose story changed the course of her family forever? Her name was Dinah. She did not lead armies. She did not interpret dreams. She did not rule nations. Yet her story sparked betrayal, violence, silence, and consequences that echoed through generations. This is not just a story about Dinah. It is a story about power, honour, silence, and what happens when a woman's pain becomes a battleground for men's pride. Let's go back to the book of Genesis, chapter 34. Dinah was born to Leah, Jacob's first wife, the woman who was often overlooked and unloved. Leah had already given Jacob 6 sons: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Then finally she gave birth to a daughter, and they named her Dinah. In a family overflowing with sons, Dinah stood out, not because of what she did, but because of who she was, Jacob's only named daughter. She grew up surrounded by brothers, living a nomadic life, moving from place to place, pitching tents, following her father as he built wealth and flocks. But Dinah was also curious about the world beyond her family. And one day, that curiosity changed everything. Genesis tells us something very simple, almost harmless. Dinah went out to see the women of the land. She wasn't rebelling. She wasn't running away. She wasn't doing anything extraordinary. She simply wanted to connect, to see how other women lived, to learn, to observe, to belong. But that moment, so small, so human, became the turning point of her life. While Dinah was among the women of the land, she was seen by Shechem, the son of Hamor, a local ruler. The Bible tells us that Shechem took Dinah and violated her. The text is brief, but heavy. There is no description, no dialogue from Dinah, no explanation of her emotions, just a cold, painful statement, and then something deeply unsettling. After violating her, Shechem claimed he loved Dinah and wanted to marry her. This moment reveals a harsh truth about ancient culture. A woman could be harmed, and then spoken of as property to be negotiated. Dinah's body became a bargaining table. When Jacob heard what had happened to his daughter, he said nothing. The Bible records his silence. Was he in shock? Was he afraid of conflict? Was he calculating political consequences? We are not told. But what we are told is this: Dinah's pain did not immediately move her father to action. Instead, Jacob waited for his sons. And when they heard, they were furious. Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, burned with rage. To them, what happened to Dinah was not just a personal tragedy, it was a family disgrace. In that culture, a daughter's violation was seen as an insult to the men of her household. So when Hamor and Shechem came to negotiate, offering marriage and gifts, the brothers responded with deception. They agreed on one condition. Every male in Shechem's city must be circumcised. The men agreed, and when they were weak and vulnerable, Simeon and Levi attacked. They killed Shechem. They killed the men of the city. They took Dinah out of the house. And then other brothers joined in looting the city. Dinah was rescued. But at what cost? Jacob was horrified, not at what happened to Dinah, but at the consequences. He said to Simeon and Levi, "You have brought trouble on me, making me odious among the inhabitants of the land." Jacob feared retaliation. He feared loss. He feared reputation. But again, Dinah's voice is absent. We never hear how she felt about the violence, whether she wanted marriage, whether she felt protected or used. Her trauma became fuel for male honour and revenge. After Genesis 34, Dinah disappears from the story. She is not mentioned again, except briefly in a list of family members who went to Egypt. No marriage record, no children mentioned, no resolution. Her story fades into silence, and that silence is the loudest part. Dinah's story teaches us uncomfortable lessons. Silence can be as damaging as violence. A victim's pain can be overshadowed by pride and power. Not every act done in defence is truly righteous. God records stories even when people try to bury them. Dinah mattered. Even when her voice wasn't recorded, God saw her. Her story reminds us to listen to the silenced, protect without exploiting, seek justice without cruelty. And remember that every unnamed pain still counts. Dinah was Jacob's only daughter. Her story is brief, but its weight is heavy. And maybe, just maybe, the Bible leaves her voice silent so we would learn to listen more carefully today.